Kia ora e te whānau. This one I have voiceovered. We're just going to make a page. These are some of the things that you're going to need. Something to punch holes, some eyelets, 2 playing cards. You'll need some chain as well, and the obvious like glue, ruler, and just 2 patterned papers. So I'll just punch holes in the 4 corners of each of these, and then I'm going to put an eyelet in each one of them. So I'll just fast forward this bit for you. Try to fast forward the obvious. Now, before I put the eyelets in, I'm just going to grab 2 different patterned papers and make a little pocket for each one on the back. I'm just doing it by eye, you know me, I don't measure all that much, not by using rulers and measurements anyway. Just a simple little pocket. Just going to fold in each edge, miter the corners so they can't be seen behind the pocket, and fit them to approximately the width of the playing card. I'm just going to fold up this edge so that this is going to be the top edge of the pocket, just to give it a little bit more stability, and I like the look of the folded edge rather than the cut edge as well. So fold one side in, then I'm just going to measure the size of the playing card for the pocket. And just quickly miter the edges. Glue this flap down first. Now you could make this pocket piece longer, and then you would be able to, rather than just have the little edge flaps to glue onto the card, you could make it a full pocket so that the whole thing glues onto the card. I haven't shown in this video, but the plastic playing cards, they are quite a shiny surface, so just to ensure that the pockets do stick, I will just sew down the edge of each side. Just quickly ink, you know me. Okay, so just glue down the edges and pop this guy left, right and bottom. And I'll just fast forward to the next step and putting in the eyelets, because I'm sure you all know how to put in eyelets. Okay, so for this part you're going to need some chain. As long as you can fit a little jump ring through it somewhere, it doesn't matter what type of chain you use. You might be able to pull apart some jewellery and grab a little bit of chain off that. It doesn't have to be a roll like this. I just got this off Temu. So you need to measure about 2.5 widths of the card. As you can see, fitting on an A5, there's not that much room for them to sit apart to dangle on the chain. So you'll just have to be aware of that. Although there is a way that you can fix that, which I will show you later. So it goes behind the bottom card and through the front, and then through the front of the top card to the back. And then all you need to do is link the two ends once you have them the length that you think you need them. Better to have them slightly too long than slightly too short. Just remember that that jump ring will add a little bit of length as well, at least a couple of mil depending on what size you're using. And then once you have linked them together, we are good to go for the next step. Okay, so just line them up so that they fit on the page without dangling off top or bottom. Then I'm just going to mark where I've got these eyelets so that I can put another set of eyelets in the actual page. And I'm just going to punch the holes, and I want to just reinforce that backing with a little bit of cardstock as well. So just grab a pattern of the paper that you're using, print it on cardstock. I've just cut a little banner shape, as you'll see shortly, just because you are going to have the weight of those cards hanging off this. If you are using real standard weight paper for your page that you're putting this onto, I would recommend putting the little banner card front and back. So I'm just going to grab this print that I've got on cardstock. Again, just doing it by eye, not measuring. I'm not worrying about whether it's cut perfectly straight. That's not the kind of junk journals I make, as you know. And I'm just going to cut into approximately the middle on an angle, and then from the middle out to the other corner. I'm just going to glue that on, so I'll just fast forward this bit. Okay, so that's just given it a bit more strength. I'm just going to re-punch the holes through that card where I need them, and then I am going to add 2 eyelets again to these holes, again just for reinforcement, so that it doesn't rip through the paper. Okay, so I have this chain, quite a chunky double link chain, and I just steal links off it every now and then when I don't want something that's perfectly round, because when they're hanging towards you they can be quite bulky in the journal. This just allows for a little less bulk. This is still going to be a chunky page, which is why she's going to turn into a crocodile. I'm just going to use a link through both of the eyelets, and so that they are held onto the page that way. Then I'm going to add the lace through these chain links in order for the bow just to sit up the very top and hopefully not interfere too much with these little cards being able to be flipped up. So I'll just fast forward this little bit for you. Okay, so now putting the lace through, I've just threaded it through the loops and the little chain links. And what I want to do is I'm going to tie a knot, then I'm going to flip one of the knot pieces under both layers, and then I'm going to tie my second knot. This is just going to hold the two together so that one isn't flat across the card and one they're both tying to the top. This is purely aesthetic. It may or may not have interfered with flipping the card up or not. As you can see, I didn't quite cut enough lace, and I want a tea stained lace up here, so I might change it, and if I do, you will have seen that on the finished product when I show you at the beginning what we're making. So that, once you make sure the loops are facing upwards, there we go, that should allow you to flip that up, and you've got two little hidden pockets. I'm just going to pop some blank vintage address book paper in there because I thought that would be quite cute. So I'll just speed this up for you. Okay, I'm just going to quickly pop these in here. You know me, I love my little hidden writing space pockets. There's always little bits to find in my journals. Just sneak those in there. And we are going to secure that bottom eyelet to the page as well. But for now I'm just going to decorate the front of the cards, give them a bit more interest. I'm going to be using some old book page, just one of the back pages. These are just two circular stamps that I have hand lino cut. You could use any stamps you like for this. If you've got circular ones, great. If you don't, that doesn't matter either. So I'm just going to quickly stamp these. I find with these stamps that I make, just in case you are going to do it, I put them down on this side first, give them a bit of a press, and then really carefully turn the paper over and give it a little bit of a rub. It just seems to print a little bit better, as you can see. So I'll just fast forward it while I do the other one. Okay, and I will just cut those out and be back. So now I've cut them out, just grabbed a couple of little scraps of lace. You can use any lace that you have on hand. I'm just going to pop them behind there, and this is part of a tablecloth. I just cut out one of the flowers. I might put that on top though, just to add a little bit. I mean, you could just leave them as playing cards, that would be fine too. I always add things to everything. So I'm just going to glue these down. Okay, I'm just going to put a little writing space on the back of this page, just because I don't want to leave it blank. So grab a piece of patterned paper and give it a bit of an ink, and I'm also going to just grab some of that leftover book page and put that on there. That's going to be the part that you can write on, and I will probably stamp that. You may have seen in the beginning of the video that it's actually lined, so I'm just going to stamp lines on that. So I'll just fast forward this bit for you so that, I mean, it's only me sticking down pieces of paper. I know you know how to do that. Okay, I'm back and it's the following day. You might notice that with some of the videos, some might be voiceovered, and just depending if it's at night or how tired I am, I hope you guys don't mind. So as you can see, I have just changed that to some coffee dyed lace, and I'm a lot happier with that. All I have done off camera is got some more of that chain, put a reasonably large jump ring on there and put that through that eyelet. Okay, so what we also need to do now is we need to connect to this chain so that we can use a little lobster claw to hook that in, okay, so that it will hold, rather than it doing this in the journal, it will at least hold that corner. So a bit of movement, but it should hold it where it needs to be and not slip around all over the place. Now if I'm going to, this is thicker than normal paper, but still I'm not happy with how flimsy it is. So all I have done is I have just cut a little strip, folded it in half and clipped my corners and inked it. And I'm just going to put that on here, and then I'm going to put the eyelet through that. Okay, I might actually put it up that way. All right, so we shall just glue this puppy on. Just going to reinforce it a little bit, and then we are going to grab an eyelet. And if you wonder what these are, they're just little eyelet backs. I just find they tidy up the back of the eyelet as well, especially if you're going to see them on a different page. Okay, so just need to make a little mark of where I want it to sit, and then we'll fix that chain up a bit as well. So ideally I want it to sit in as far down as possible, because your lobster claw has to be able to get into this hole. And I'm hoping that this will work. If it doesn't, because this ring isn't enough to get through 2 eyelets, never mind. I would just remove that, maybe pop a little charm on there, and instead just thread a little bow through there. That can be undone easy enough, so that when the person wants to flip it open they can. Okay, now I did say to you that we were going to fix this chain up a little bit. Now, you could always just take another couple of links out of there. That would work too. What I'm going to do though is I am just going to raise it up a little bit. And I need it about that far apart, and then I've just got a label, and all I'm going to do is stick it on, and that will be enough to hold that in place. glue everywhere. Goodness gracious. And just when you just hold that up where it needs to go. So up to you. Take some links out of there. This will double as hiding the jump ring. Or you could just do it this way. I'm not too fussed on that. If I really wanted to, I'd chuck another little piece of lace over that to hide it completely. But that's fine by me. Okay, so I'll just check if this lobster claw is big enough. I don't want it to be too difficult to get undone and done up. Yeah, see, this is a bit fiddly for my liking, and it's simply, I mean, you could, if you've got a larger lobster claw, this method would be perfect, but I can use that as a little dangle on one of the tabs. Trying to keep it real here. I will trim that little bit off there, so all we need to do then is get another little piece of lace. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop those. This is just so that you won't have to thread both eyelets every time you undo it. And then all you would have to do is thread one side. I mean, you're not going to be jumping in and out of there every 5 seconds, eh? So that should be fine. This is just something that I came up with in my head, like I do when I'm naturally making journals. This isn't a journal that I've had planned out. I just wanted to do this. So as we go along, you will also see the little bits and pieces that I make mistakes on or don't quite get right. So yes, you've got a little bit of movement there, but it's not going to flip right out of the journal. And for now, I'm just going to take that off, and I might just put that little charm on there. And that is the finished page. So I hope you enjoyed watching that one. This is what this little series is going to be like. I'm just going to be doing one page at a time, and you can choose to follow along. Sorry about my camera cord there, but to finish this I had to plug her in. So there we go. I will leave you to it, and I will see you next time. Bye.